Yo, what is up, guys? What is poppin'? We are back on Pokemon Shop today for a different video, kinda, but obviously still Pokemon content and shit like that. But today we have a pretty hype battle for you. Um, I don't know if you guys heard of that, but there's a thing started by the Token Minorities that is called the Clan Wars or something, where you which is kind of like a Smog on tour where you have like teams of players and or like clans in this case, and they like battle battle each other to hit number one on the overall leaderboard or something, or hit number one in a certain tier, like in OU or the draft format and stuff like that. We have like a number of formats, like all standard Smogon tiers, OU to NU, and a couple of draft formats in which we play. And I'm part of the Bullet Punch Club, which is a bunch of wrestling fans, and my boy Matty Brolick invited me to that. We got like guys like the Uzi Gunner, Ultimate Tub is in there, I think the Vert is in there, and a bunch of other cool guys. Leo joined us yesterday, the UCL Season 2 champion 6-foot X, which is hype, and we got a pretty cool clan going on there. Bunch of pretty chill guys, and yeah, I'm a part of that too. And I for the first clan wars, I was like my clan wanted me to play in the draft format here, which makes sense obviously because I'm a fucking goat when it comes to draft format. And yeah, we had like the draft alongside the other clan. There were I think four matchups in the clan wars, and we drafted like a bunch of a team of 8 months, and then we are supposed to play someone only once, not like best of three or something, just one game, and trying to assert dominance on, on our opponent. So team I drafted, as you see, is Talonflame, Zapdos, Necrozma, Suicune, Garchomp, Scizor, and I also had Mega God of War, and what else did I bring? I didn't bring some weird ass mon that I drafted late in the game, late in the draft, I think. But wait, what was that, man? I can't remember. Let me check. I'm really blanking right now on what I drafted, what else I drafted, but I don't think it's like too much too much of a deal. And we are actually facing the god himself, Zazo, aka Anthony, aka IronFlashGaming, aka AkkiVGC YouTube from the March Madness, which is like hype as fuck. But yeah, he like we probably knew that we were playing each other because we have never played each other before, and we like definitely wanted to play each other because I love my man Zazo, and he's like always been pretty cool to me. So yeah, definitely was gonna be a hype game. But so we tried to counter team us a little bit, but since Zazo had the first pick in the first round, he also had the last round of the draft, and this motherfucker picked up Chandelier, which I just like don't have any switch-ins for, which is kind of annoying. But I obviously gotta play around that. Zazo is, for those of you who don't know, is one of the like top 5 to top 10 guys in the format ever. He like kind of retired from Pokemon. He doesn't play leagues anymore because he's super busy with life, which kind of sucks. I would have loved to play him in a league instead of this Clan Wars thing, but you already know like that we are both packing some heat here. Both are packing some cool sets to trying to stun on the other, and yeah, it's definitely gonna be a hype game because like it would be a nice statement win for our clan and myself if I can like pull off a big W versus Zazo. And looking at the team, like the matchup isn't too heavily in my favor. Chandler just destroys me. Manaphy is a pretty big threat to my team because like I don't really have anything that revenges it safely. I have his Zapdos which speed ties, so I'm like kind of forced to run Scarf. And I have a Garchomp that like are my two fastest things besides the Talonflame. Talonflame like it doesn't do too much to a bulky Manaphy, so mm, yeah, I like play around the Manaphy a little better. Team Zazu brings obviously as you see Tornadus, Manaphy, Bronzong, Decidueye, Channeler, and Megalopon. He didn't bring Scolipede and Mamoswine, and like that's kind of nice because I can freely Volt Switch around with my Zapdos now. Um, what I really expected him to bring was like either a Scarf or Specs. Chandler Specs makes more sense because like just obliterates my team. It's almost 2 chaos everything on my squad besides the bulky Suicune, which I brought. I really expected him not to bring like a mostly offensive Lopunny. Like he doesn't really need anything besides return. Yes, fighting step would be nice for the scissor, but it's not really necessary. I expect him to bring some like encore baton pass, like a more of a support set that can also hit pretty hard. The Decidueye, I wasn't sure. It could have been like a haze set for potentially Carmine, Necrozma, Carmine Tune, but it could also be offensive because like my ghost resist is just non-existent. I felt like Zazo might want to capitalize on that. Bronzong has to be special defensive versus me because I have a Necrozma, I have a Mega God of War. He has to bring a special wall to check those mods. Manaphy definitely a tail glow set. I don't know if it's like only 2 attacks with Surf and Energy Ball or if it packs the Ice Beam for like Zapdos and Gacho, but both of those are hit pretty hard by +3 Surf or Scald, so I wasn't quite sure if he was about that life. And Tornadus could be anything, to be honest. Like could be like a life of attacker, could be an assault vest mon, could be like some taunt set because I have a bunch of fat mons. I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but when I looked at his team, I felt like Talonflame absolutely destroys him. Yes, should he get rocks up, that could be kind of a nuisance because like Talonflame takes 50% and I can't really set up on anything and I lose my Gale Wings. But I still felt like it could put in a lot of work because like +2 Talon, looking at the squad, just shits on everything. Like the only mon that is not outcut by +2 Talon is a bulky Manaphy, and that's it. Like the rest just drops, which is super high. I have a Charty Berry on there in case you wanted to like have a Cobra Berry Scolipede lead, which you didn't bring, or some rock coverage on Mamoswine, just in case. Like I wanted Talonflame to be able to take the hit, even though I like acrobatics more on Talon than Brave Bird, especially now because like you don't want to lose your Gale Wings, especially when, when your opponent has a mon like Lopunny or Tornadus T. I didn't actually speed creep Tornadus T with my Talon, I just speed creep a mon that speed creeps a Garchomp, which is my second fastest mon. I felt like I don't think he would like speed creep max speed Talon. Like it doesn't really make sense for me to bring Jolly max speed Talon versus him. So like the speed creep was kind of a mind game here, but I felt like the speed I was at was the most confident, the most I was willing to put on there on this Talonflame. Zapdos here is a Scarf variant. U-turn, Heat Wave, Volt Switch, and Thunderbolt. Nothing special. I can like literally spam Thunderbolt once I got rid of the Decidueye, which shouldn't be too hard to do. It's like Mon isn't like if it's offensive, it's like easily dealt with, and if it's defensive, it can't do like lot of damage versus my team anyway. So I'm pretty sure I can deal with that one. The Crossmay is a pretty nice set. Calma and Rest Talk, Psyshock, which can actually like just abuse more passive stuff like Bronzong. Could also like abuse a non-offensive Lopunny unless it has Encore or something. You could abuse not a life of Assault Vest Tornadus is fodder. Obviously at +1/+2 it takes hits from Manaphy fairly well, and like it could check Mamoswine pretty easily. I'm not too killed by Mamoswine's Earthquake, which is high. So I could potentially like just set up and then like get rid of Toxic or something, whatever he wants to throw at me. He doesn't know my set at that point, and like go from there. So definitely a solid one versus him. Suicune is a Scald, Roar, Toxic, Protect set with the leftovers. Lots of Spadef in there to take hits from Specs Channeler unless he predicts me and goes for Energy Ball, but like he has no reason to ever not click Shadow Ball because like my resist is non-existent. Garchomp is an Earthplate variant, Earthquake, Crunch, Dragon Claw, and Stealth Rock. I wasn't too sure if I would bring Garchomp or Mega God of War to this battle. Oh, Buzzwole was my last one, which I contemplated bringing, but I feel like Garchomp was like most reliable way of like picking off a channeler, of picking off maybe an offensive Decidueye, to like weaken Manaphy, never give it a free Tail Claw or something, or free substitute, whatever it is. So I felt like that thing worked, and it was like my most reliable rocker because I didn't want to put rocks on the Crossmo. Scissor here is a muscle band variant with defog, bullet punch, U-turn, and pursuit. Pursuit is here because I want to deal with the Decidueye and the Bronzong so that my Necrozma can win basically. If I pursuit trap the Bronzong, I do like 60% to it if it's especially defensive. Decidueye will drop if it's an offensive variant to the pursuit, so that's actually pretty nice. If I'm able to pursuit stuff like that, or choice locked Channeler that is locked into Energy Ball after like revenging Suicune, for example, I'm like in a very solid spot, like because Necrozma is pretty hard for my opponent to deal with, but as you will see, he has some answers to it. I decided to lead off with my Zapdos because I probably will outspeed everything on my opponent's team, and I can freely voltage out and get a big hit off on anything. Seeing like kind of want to see what his initial switching is and stuff like that. So that's alright. So I go into my Zapdos here. So my opponent leads off with the Channeler. I'm definitely gonna click Voltage here. If you Scarf, I don't really mind revealing my Scarf on the Zapdos. Doesn't really matter. I will just go for the Voltage and let him go and go into Suicune. I really understand his play of staying in with the Channeler because getting a Shadow Ball off on a potentially bulky Zapdos that wants to deal with an offensive mana fee would have been huge because then I can't really take any more +3 hits from it, even if I'm Yachiver or something, and I can't really roost up on anything besides the Bronzong, which will definitely carry the Toxic. So I'm going to my Suicune as he fires off the Shadow Ball, and this is definitely specs damage, and this is also modest specs, which is absolutely crazy. I get why I did that because I'm in no way in hell I'm running like Jolly Scissor, Jolly Necrozma or something, but still ballsy to just go for the Shadow Ball again, like trying to fuck me out with like modest specs is a pretty annoying threat to me, but yeah, I will have to deal with it. On next time, I just go for the Protect, thinking that he probably wants to like just weaken my Q. Now that this Channeler can't really come in on anything, like if I'm offensive Necrozma, he can't switch in. If I'm Guard Shot, he can't switch in. Only thing he can come in on is a Scissor, and then I can always potentially carry the knockoff to like catch him on the switch and stuff like that. So just is trying to get the most damage off on my Q, as I will revenge him with the Scalty on the next turn. But like a weakened Q isn't too great for my squad. Doesn't really isn't really too good to have Q weakened because I still want to raw stuff around, potentially get a Toxic off and shit like that. He goes into his Bronzong, which I know he will use as an opportunity to get up his rocks, but I can't really do too much about that. He will get them up, and I go into Scissor as he actually goes for the rocks. I contemplated like going for the defog like directly, but I felt like pursuit trapping the Bronzong and getting like 60% damage off on it would be super nice. So like there was no way in hell he's staying in because I don't really see him going up, like having the HP Fire. It doesn't make sense with my team. HP Ice is way more reliable as like it prevents Garchomp from setting up on it, and like HP Fire isn't a set versus my team, I would say. So I decided to go for the Pursuit here, as he actually switches up, but he has the Culver Berry, so I only do 32%, which reveals that he's definitely a max HP, but especially defensive variant. Lopunny comes in. I wish I could have defogged here, but I don't want to like let this Lopunny do any shenanigans and decide to go hard into my Necrozma here, which is my dedicated switch. And if it's Adam and Lopunny, he will do like what 40% or so to me with a return of 45. I don't know, but he actually reveals to be a Cosmic Power set, which is really what I expected. I told him when we were talking about the game, like that if he's bringing Lopunny, he's definitely bringing some bullshit Baton Pass Cosmic Power set. I told him that. Yeah, it's actually what he does. But my Necrozma is Calm Mind. It's like not too big of a deal here. I have my lefties. I can check this thing with the Side Shock, and I Calm Mind up here on the next turn. Like if he has, I feel like he has Cosmic Power for sure. He has Baton Pass for sure. He has Return for sure. I wasn't sure if the fourth move he could have very well been Encore, but I felt like he was more likely to have like Healing Wish or Substitute to prevent like Scissor from breaking a sub at +2 with the Bullet Punch or something. I felt like Substitute would have made the most sense alongside a Healing Wish. Lopunny, for example, or even Toxic or something, like to just like catch a Suicune or Necrozma off guard. So I kind of mind up here. I'm not like too afraid of this thing. A Sea Baton passed out. I think I fire off a Psyshock here on the next turn, trying to catch a switch, and as he goes into Tornadus, and Tornadus definitely, after the damage, I know that this is a physically defensive variant, and not physically defensive variant, max HP variant. I just keep firing off Psyshocks here. I'm like not too worried about that. As he goes for a Toxic, so he's like some Toxic. He missed a Hurricane. It doesn't matter. Like Hurricane at +2 does like +1 does like 25%, unless he's like offensive, which I don't think he is, because he's max HP and probably like has a bunch of speed investment. As he does 20% at +2, so it would have done like 30 max at at +1, so that like wouldn't have done anything to me. Here I reveal the rest because I want to get rid of the Toxic. I don't want to risk like him critting a Hurricane and the Toxic like knocking me out. I need my Necrozma with a nice amount of health, so yeah, that makes sense. Now he actually reveals to have the Taunt, which is pretty wild. Maybe he should have like gone for the Taunt earlier, like just to cover the potential recovery move. And yeah, like I can burn my sleep turns here and then fire off some nice Psyshocks here. It doesn't really matter. Goes for the Hurricane again. I can fire off Psyshocks, like he can't beat me 1v1 even with the Taunt. And on this next turn my Taunt ends, and I'm fairly sure he won't Taunt again, but I've seen a set, it's Hurricane, Toxic, and Taunt, and I feel like he has nothing to touch my Zapdos, he has nothing to really touch my Garchomp unless he packs the Icy Wind. But I felt like with Toxic, Taunt, and Hurricane, and the leftovers, he could be like a substitute set, so I decide, I think to, oh no, I take another Toxic here, what do I do? I just go for a Psyshock here. Okay, and like, I think on the next turn now, I go into my Zapdos here, predicting him to not wanna go for the Taunt and like maybe trying to trap me with the Decidueye. Should I go for the rest here? Which makes sense. So I go hard into my Zapdos, and that like gives me the initiative again, and go for the Volt Switch. Do a nice amount of damage, which reveals that he's no HP investment. I go into my Scissor and C5 of a Spirit Shackle, and that is definitely adamant Decidueye. And the way he brought it in potentially, and like he stayed in and shit like that, I felt like he was potentially a Scarf variant. Maybe SD, but I feel like Scarf would make sense because he doesn't have an evident Scarfer besides that on the squad, and I feel like a Scarfer would be nice because my speed tiers aren't too good, and Decidueye can always like revenge kill a Mega Gardevoir that goes out of gets out of hand, can revenge kill a Garchomp if I'm not Scarf, and like the Scarf Spirit Check is actually pretty nice because it allows him to like just see what my initial switch is and go from there because I can't switch out. So Scissor is in. I could go for the Bullet Punch here, but I didn't want him to like go into Manaphy on the Bullet Punch and like get a free setup off. I decided to actually click Pursuit here, if he like in case he wanted to like switch out instead of like just revenging me, because Scissor actually is kind of set up for stuff like Lopunny and Manaphy, so I at least want to get rid of the Decidueye with the Pursuit should he like decide to make a play, but my opponent just goes for the Spirit Shackle, which is fine. Sadly, Rocks will stay up, but I am like not bringing Talonflame in before like I know that I can potentially clean up, or before I have to bring it in, so it's not too big of a deal. The only one that like only has 2 switches left is the Zapdos, but like it actually has 3 switches left, which is pretty nice. I'm like 75.2%, so that's kind of cool. I bring my Garchomp to revenge this thing with the Crunch, which is a roll that's heavily in my favor to knock him out, I think. Goes for the Spirit Shackle, now revealing that he is Scarf, which I didn't know before, but I get the roll with the Crunch and knock out the Decidueye. Spirit Shackle didn't do too much here. Yeah, now Lopunny comes in. I contemplated like just going for the Earthquake here to get some damage off, but I would have done only 50% with it, and I like after the +1 obviously, and I felt like it wasn't worth it because like Lopunny isn't really a threat. I can always like revenge it with Necrozma or the Talonflame. Like I wasn't like too worried about it, and I go hard into my Suicune, like just scouting if he actually has an attack move. If not, I can just draw him around and like get rid of its boost, but he actually reveals to have the return, which is fine with me. I can like go into my Necrozma here on the next turn. I live the return, obviously I can go for rest, and then like it's like play the RNG game, like which moves do I get with the sleep talk? Do I get like the side shock on the first turn? Yes, I do. I get off some nice damage, nice 53%, and I will go for another sleep talk because if I like get the side shock again, I will knock out this Lopunny, and then like my sleep terms are broken, but are like dealt with. But I get the Calm Mind actually, which is annoying. I have to play around this Lopunny correctly. Like my sleep turns are over. I can always rest up on the Bronzong potentially, and like I feel like I can revenge the Lopunny with my Zapdos later. So what I decide to do is go into Garchomp, sacking it, knowing that he has to attack me because like he doesn't want to give me a free rest, and I know he has to go for a return, and I like just want to get some Ruskin damage off. As he knocks me out with the return actually. So I get the necessary damage off, and now Zapdos can guaranteed knock him out with the Thunderbolt, which is pretty high. So I go for the T-Bolt. He saves his Lopunny, which makes sense because he can still like Cosmic Power potentially. It sacks his Tornadus to the T-Bolt, which I think was his best play here. Bronzong comes in. I don't want to like take a hit from this thing because like I still need to be able to come in on rocks at least once, hopefully twice. I can go into my Necrozma here. If he is like, depending on his coverage, I can take a hit after rocks and rest up on it. And actually it goes for the hidden power, and I can easily lift it because I have some nice investment. I can rest up again. He goes hard into Manaphy, which also makes a lot of sense. Manaphy, I felt like was guaranteed to be a Vacanberry set with my squad because it's the only reliable way of revenging it is a Scarf Zapdos or an offensive Zapdos, and I felt like he has to like have a way of dealing with it. During the March Madness tournament, oh no, that wasn't him that used Vacanberry Manaphy versus some stuff. That was like, someone else, but like I've seen a lot of guys like always putting a Vacan on Manaphy just to make sure they can deal with electric types in this speedy draft form of things, because like you only have 8 months and you can like more easily predict that what the opponent's counter is gonna be, and like Vacanberry actually makes a ton of sense with my squad. So I felt like that was like his item of choice for sure. So now he's go for Telgo, which is kind of scary. On first I get the Calm Mind, which is nice, which allows me to potentially live two Scars, but not two Surfs, which is kind of annoying. I go for a Sleep Talk again on this, get another Calm Mind, so now I know that I can live the next attack for sure, and I can fire off a big Side Shock, which will do quite a lot of damage to this Manaphy. Can fire off a Side Shock here as he goes for another Tailglaw. I don't know if that was his play. Maybe he should have gone for the Surf just to maybe go for a crit, but yeah, it didn't do that. So now it's Talonflame and Zapdos versus a weakened Manaphy, Bronzong that is at like 60%, and like the Lopunny is at 37 or something. So what I have to do, because I still think he is Vacanberry, I have to go into Talonflame and Revenge Kill the Manaphy with that, because he could potentially, depending on the set, he could live a T-Bolt from my Zapdos, which is kind of annoying. So I have to go into my Talonflame, just click Brave Bird to knock him out. Not like going for the Roost or something. I'm predicting him to choke away the game or so. I'm just going for the Brave Bird here, and his Lopunny comes in. I can't switch in my Zapdos on his return because I will die after rocks for sure, and I just have to click Brave Bird and see if I knock him out. I actually am fast and I knock him out. That is pretty interesting. Like, after the game, he sent me his team, and he actually just speed grabbed a max speed Garchomp. I don't know why, maybe just didn't expect Talonflame to come, but after the earlier damage from Psyshock on the Lopunny, I knew that he had like a lot of bulk investment, but I just wasn't sure. I knew it was Adamant max attack, and I knew he had a lot of bulk, but it was impossible for me to gauge how much speed he has. I decided to take the gamble here with the Talonflame in the late game because I knew I would revenge the Manaphy, and I knew I could potentially revenge like anything else if I'm faster, and I actually am. So Bronzong comes in, I can just click Flare Blitz now and clean up the game. Talonflame goes down, but definitely definitely hype. So I win one over. This is my boy Zazo. GG is Aki, obviously. Gotta respect that, but that was definitely a super hype game. My opponent brought some nice heat set, like the tornadoes, the Cosmoflower Love Honey, obviously nice scarf, Decidui, was pretty hype. But yeah, I'm very happy that I was able to pull off the game. Was like didn't look too good versus in the late game because like a speedy Lopunny would have just cleaned up, but thankfully he was not dead, and I was able to capitalize on that. So that was pretty nice. Definitely a big win for us. I think we had like a 4-3 lead in the Clan Wars, and we need like 7 wins or 6 wins in all these games to like win the Clan War itself. So definitely an important win for us, and I'm happy to like have gotten the win, which is definitely cool. It's a nice statement win versus my boy Zazo. Obviously, I'm not gonna lose to a retired player, but he has shown that he still has it. Like he was a little bit rusty, obviously, with the lock on his speed, but besides that, like he could always come back and join my league. Zazo decide to unretire the next year and come back to fight me again, it would be hype. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this game. I felt like it was pretty fun one. Leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed, and I catch you in the next video. See ya.